All right, welcome back. This is going to be our third and final video for creating an automated quote generator that basically takes our transcripts and pulls out social media worthy quotes. Um, so, so far, just to kind of recap what we've done, is we've created the workflow that pulls the quotes out of our transcripts. So this happens automatically. You don't have to think about it or do anything. Once we turn this on, every day it's going to run, pull all your fireflies meetings, assuming you're using fireflies. Obviously you can replace this with another um, AI solution if it has a make integration. It's going to cycle through all the sentences within the transcript, aggregate them into a big block of text, send them over to our app we created in hats AI. That's our AI ChatGPT prompt that then goes through that transcript, determines what's quote worthy, and then sends it back from the API. At that point, we clean it up. We create a JSON array, which we iterate over, save it to a table, and then we create a HTML email and email it to ourselves for review and approval, which, if you don't recall, looks like this. So this is from a call I had with Traniel, and basically ran through. It created these quotes. Again, some are good, some are bad. We don't need a ton. If we get one a week, that would probably be pretty good. So we can reject them. That'll delete them out of the table. We can edit them, which will take us to the table, or we can approve them, which will launch basically what we're going to build today. So today we want to build a approval automation. So we want to start off with if you recall, we created these links in here. So if you hover over it, you can see it just says webhook URL. That needs to be replaced with the webhook we're about to create. And then we're going to send over approve or reject, and then the record. So first thing we want to do is create a webhook. So we just click on custom webhook. We want to add one. So we'll call this our quote generator demo webhook. I always like to put IP restrictions in mine, but since this is a demo and I won't be using it, I will just leave it blank. All right, so now we need to copy. This is the URL, the webhook we're going to send it to. So we will need that. And basically, on that email that we had, we need to replace the webhook URL with that URL. So I am going to basically look at the one we're going to use for our demo. This is, get rid of that. This is the one that was in the email. So we need to take this and replace this. All right, so that's going to be our webhook to approve the quote. All right, so we're going to save that. Actually, let's run that. Oh, let me redetermine data structure. So you can see it's waiting, and then we are going to paste the URL. Accepted. Successfully determined. Now, if we click on it, oh, if we add the next module, which is going to be Airtable, we're going to get a record. We're going to use our demo account. And this is our quote table. And we're going to use this record right here. All right. So now we try that again. There's our record. All right. So we got our webhook. Our webhook's working. That's what'll come over in the email where we could view them. And if we click approve, it's going to kick off the webhook. Now, we're going to want this webhook to work for multiple things though. So what we want to do is we want to create a router. So let's add a router and let's add second option. This one up here is going to be our approve quote. Say result is approve quote. You can see that's what came over. So we'll say approve quote. We're going to get to this one is going to be reject quote, which we'll get to, which, well, we can do it right now. We're going to delete the record. We don't like the quote. We're just going to delete it. Let me authenticate this real quick. All right. Automate marketing, and we're going to go to the quotes table, and we're going to put this record in so we can delete records. So now I'm just going to go reject quote. So now when we get that email, if we click approve, it's going to come over. It's going to go this way. If we click reject, it's going to come over and it's going to go this way. So now what we want to do is we want to have it automatically create an image. So the way we're going to do that is we're going to use Google Slides, believe it or not. I created this uh, slide that's about the size of um, it's a square. It's basically 1080 by 1080. And in here, I put this variable quote. This is where we're going to put it. And then you can see I put the rest of this is just an image. So we're able to, and I call it a quote template one because I plan on having multiple different appearances. But for now, we're just going to do the quote one. So what we're going to do here, let's go back. Let's name this. We're going to call this quote approval demo. All right. So first thing we want to do is Google Slides, and we're going to create a presentation from a template, which is that template we were just looking at. We're going to call it the name of the quote from the database. So copy. Let me pick this presentation ID. Quote template. So there's our quote template. The values we're going to put in for that variable we were talking about is quote. And we're going to save it to a folder that I created for this, quotes. That's it. So that is going to take this template, put the quote in here, and save it in the folder with the name of the quote. Next thing we want to do is we want to get the presentation. So we're going to go click here. We're going to get the presentation. We're going to use the presentation ID that we just created. And basically, I need it to be dynamic. So I don't want to click it. I want to map it, which is why we did that. So now we're going to get the presentation ID. Next, we want to go back to Google Slides. We want to get a page or a thumbnail. So this is going to be same presentation ID. Page object is going to be, where is it? Slides, object ID. And show page thumbnail. All right, so we're going to do that. Next, we're going to update our database with the image. So we're going to go to Airtable. We're going to update a record. We're going to pick our database. We're going to pick our quotes. We're going to put in our record ID from way back here. And what we're going to do is we're going to populate this image. So we're going to click on it. Image, file URL is going to be, I think it is going to be, the content URL. And I like to update the status to in progress. All right. So now what we're going to do here is when we click approve, it's going to come through. It's going to get the record, which is going to give us the quote. We're going to create a Google slide from the template. We're going to put the quote in it. Then we're going to get the slide back. We're going to grab an image of the slide. And we're going to save that to the database. And then our final step is we want it to email back to us. So we want to send an email. And we'll just send this to myself. All right, or we'll just call this quote image to approve. And we're going to let's created some HTML already for this. So we'll just put this HTML in here. Oh. So HTML is going to put that content URL so we can see what it looks like. The record ID, it's going to ask us if we want to approve it, reject it, or use a different template. Again, in the future, I want to be able to switch the template if I don't like the template for some reason. All right, and that's it. So that's going to email us that. Once it emails it to us, then we're going to have to approve the image in order to upload it. So let's save this. Let's run it. And let's test it out. We're going to run it on that same one. You can watch it go through the process. And I should have an email. Let me go check here. There's the email. Adopting solutions for ourselves often paves the way to solutions for our clients. So now what we want to do is we want to approve or reject it. Again, we got this this webhook. We're going to send it back to the same webhook, but we're going to change this to approve image. So if you look at, all right, so again, if you hover over the approve, you can see the approve image in the response there. So that's what we're going to need to send back. Now, what we want to do, again, we got this webhook. We approve the quote, goes through here. If we reject the quote, goes through here. Now we need to approve the image. So we're going to add another path. And from here, same thing. We want to get the record. We go to our demo. We go to our base. And we want to get our record from the quotes table, record ID, and we'll save that. Now, once we got our record, all we have to do is share it. Now, there's a lot of different tools you can use for this. I am using Social Bee, so I'm just going to copy, paste that. So Social Bee is an app that lets you build out schedules so that you can basically build a queue to post. I could build like I did here, I built a JV quotes category. And what we're going to do is we're going to put our quote in here, and we're going to put our image URL from our table. And we could approve it automatically, or we could just hit no, I'll approve it. So that's it. Save. And then what we want to do is we want to finally update our table. Just mark it as done. Let's go to quotes, grab our record. Actually, we can use this record. And we want to just change the status to done. So there we go. Now, what we could also do is if we reject the image, say we want to delete it again, we could just hit an or on this and put or equals reject image. So either way, if we do any rejection, it's just going to delete the record. When we approve the quote, it's going to come here, generate the image, email it to us. We approve it. It's going to come back here and it's going to update this record. So let's try this out. Let's run it. Go back, approve image. There we go. There we go. There we go. So now if I go over to Social Bee, this is what I did previously. If I refresh, there it is. Adopting solutions for ourselves often paves the way to solutions for our clients. And there's the image. And now if I have it set up just for schedules, or for our schedule, it'll automatically post. I could also just share right now and put it out there. That's it. You can actually, if you want, you could just go to LinkedIn and create a image post and just fill out the information, have it post automatically. I like to schedule mine. I like to build up a queue so that we could schedule them out into the future. Again, the idea here is to not have to do much once this is up and running. Like once we turn this on, it's going to run automatically. Uh, you can also tweak some of this. So like in the one that I'm using for production, I only have it grabbing my lines. So I just put in here sentence, speaker name, Jason Vanzen. That way I'm only getting my lines from the transcript and not capturing anybody else's comments. So once that runs, basically, once I turn this on, I have a fully automated uh, social media content generator for quotes. So basically, every time I have a meeting, it's going to run through, going to determine if there's any quote-worthy quotes from there. It's going to email them to me. All I got to do is when I see the email, just scroll through them real quick, approve them or reject them. If I approve them, then it's going to come over here. It's going to generate the image. It's going to email that to me. All I have to do is approve it or reject it. If I approve it, then it's going to put it into Social Bee. Social Bee has that JV quotes scheduled, say once a week. And then whenever that schedule hits, it's automatically going to post the next one in the queue. Fully automated. Don't have to do much effort other than there's some approvals. But at the same time, I'm checking the work to make sure that AI isn't just putting stuff out there to embarrass me. Um, as you can see, this is just one example. We can create many things like this, both in marketing and operations, sales, you name it. So if you guys thought this was cool, you want anything, have any other ideas of things we can create, um, hit me up on in the direct messages or comment below. Um, if you need any help, you want to build something out like this, you can also reach out to us. Again, you can hit me up on direct messages. You can hit our website at righthandtechnologygroup.com. And